First off, congratulations, Ron. I know that was a major goal heading into this season. So you clinched it a couple weeks ago. You didn't have to wait until the final week. But what does it mean for this program?
I think it's a step for us, certainly in the right direction. Like you said, it was a goal of ours to get in, and our kids have earned it. They've played hard. We won the games wins along the way, so our kids are excited. Our staff's excited. We're looking forward to it.
You also got a victory in the final week of the regular season. You had a rare non-conference matchup against Butler at home. You win that one, doubling up the Golden Tornado 28-14. In the process, you secure a winning record for the season, now 6-4. How did you approach that final game, knowing that it was not really going to have any implications for the postseason?
Well, we played to win. Like I said earlier, we're guaranteed 10 games, and our kids deserve to play those 10 games if they're healthy. They were, so we played all of our guys. We played them the whole game, and for us as a program to get the 6 wins, for some others it's not a big deal, but for us at this point to get the 6 wins and, like you said, secure a winning season was important. So, we played to win.
What stood out in terms of your performance on Friday?
I think defensively we played really well. Our defensive staff prepares our guys every week, and they've done that throughout the year. We've progressively gotten better. Defensively, take away the McKeesport game, which was kind of a tough one. But and we ran the ball well. Again, Johnny Wetzel's doing a good job when we ask him to do some other things in the passing game, and our offensive line played well. So we were pleased with the overall performance of our guys.
Well, you talk about your quarterback, Wetzel. He's just a sophomore. And I know earlier in the season he wasn't throwing it a lot. You kind of had him as a game manager. What growth have you seen from him now that leads you to believe that he can go out and make those key plays if needed?
Well, I think the efficiency of him throwing the ball. We've had weeks where he's been 7 for 7. We've had weeks where he was 7 for 10. And he's grown a ton confidence-wise too, being able to stand back there and make some throws. He's always had the ability. We just knew he was young, and we're going to let him grow into the position a little bit. But he certainly earned that opportunity to throw the ball a little bit more. And, he's really effective running the ball for us too. So he's grown up a lot, and we're looking forward to great things from him for the next 2 years.
Well, when you talk about running the ball, it starts with Robbie Fulton. His first year at Gridiron Latrobe was one for the record books. He set the single-season rushing record for Gridiron Latrobe, and really just about every single week he has been your offensive leader. What has made him so special?
Well, he's just besides the on-the-field stuff he does, I'd be crazy not to talk about what he is like off the field. He's a good leader for us. The kids, all love him. He fit in pretty quickly here with the other guys, and I think he's a guy that our other players look up to, our young kids. But on the field, he has good vision. He's explosive. He runs hard. He runs under his pads. So he's just grown a ton, and hopefully we get a couple more games with him.
Well, you talked about your defense getting better and that being a big key against Butler. And I know both Wetzel and Fulton are guys who are key components on that side. But who else really stands out defensively for you?
Well, I think Alex Tash is a guy that's been consistent every week. I could go through several of them. But, Wyatt Held played really well this week. Danny Calabrese has been consistent every week on the defensive front. Dom Flanagan has just been a rock for us at corner. Jatan Williams, I think he has 5 picks this year, has played really well. And Colin Stevens is a guy that has come a long way and been a really short tackler for us at safety, which is what you look for. And again, like you mentioned, Johnny's played well, and Robert at times when we play him. Corey Boyer has been good. So we've had a lot of guys that have stepped up on defense.
So let's take a closer look at this 4A bracket. And you mentioned McKeesport. I had seen McKeesport earlier this season and thought maybe they had the best resume of any team in the WPIAL. And yet with the loss in the final week of the season, they somehow dropped down to 5. That just shows how stacked this classification is. So what jumps out when you look at this bracket?
It's probably as deep as any. I mean, you could probably pick 4 or 5 teams that have a chance to win this thing, with Aliquippa, Central Valley, TJ, McKeesport, Armstrong, Highlands. They're all really good, and I think they all have a chance to make a run at it. So I think the depth of 4A is as good as any.
Well, you mentioned Highlands. They're the number 6 seed. You get the number 11 seed, so that's the first round matchup. As far as your seeding at number 11, is that sort of what you anticipated? Where did you think you might end up?
We thought we would be right around there, 11, 12, maybe 13. But we just said all along, wherever they put us, it doesn't do any good to complain about it. We'll just go play.
So the Golden Rams have had a pretty nice season in their own right. When you look at them, what stands out?
A lot. I mean, they're really good. They have a really good quarterback, and they rely on that kid, his feet and his arm. They out formation. They're very physical up front. The way they run the ball on defense. So they do all the things right. They play great special teams. It's certainly going to be a challenge.
Well, you mentioned our quarterback, Chandler Timmons, and he's a very experienced player who has led them for multiple seasons now. He's also a running threat. How do you try to slow him down?
We got to get in our run lanes, and try to take some of those lanes away from him. But sometimes when he drops back and he doesn't see anything open, and that's the hardest time. Those are the hardest runs to defend. The design runs, not that they're not hard, but it's the breakdown. When you're in pass coverage and the kid breaks the pocket, you got to come up and play the run. That's where he's really effective.
What will be key for you on the offensive side of the football against Highlands?
I think for us, it's always control the ball, with the run game and chew up, the clock a little bit, shorten the game by keeping the chains moving and keeping the clock moving. So, I don't think that changes this week for us.
I know that getting into the playoffs was a big goal for you when you took over. Your team has accomplished that. How do you make sure that the team is not content just getting to the playoffs, though?
Well, I think consistency is the big thing. You keep preparing the way you've prepared, all year. We're not going to change. We're going to continue to prepare hard. If you change up now, then I don't know if it looks like you're panicking or what, but we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep doing what we do what got us here, and hopefully that's good enough to keep us moving on.
Well, it is your first year as the head coach, but you had been with Penn Trafford and obviously made a lot of postseason appearances and that run all the way to the state championship last year. For you personally, how much do you lean upon that previous experience with Penn Trafford, knowing what to expect in postseason play now?
Well, I think that'd be crazy not to. We had a lot of success over there, and I said it to somebody else. What have you learned from John? I said, I think you learn to be consistent. Do what you do. Just do a little bit better come playoff time.
Lastly, I know you can preach everything, to kind of stay the same, but when you're about to head out onto that field on Friday night at Highlands, what's the message going to be to the team?
I just think we're going to go out and play hard. Same as we do every week. Enjoy the moment. They've earned it. There's only 13 teams left now in 4A, and go out and play hard and see what happens.
Ron, thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations on getting into the postseason, and good luck on Friday.
Hey, thanks, John.